You think people like you because you're kind, polite, or easy to get along with. But the truth is, none of that actually matters. People are drawn to you for reasons they'll never admit. Reasons buried in psychology, instinct, and survival. And once you understand those hidden triggers, you'll stop chasing approval and start pulling people in without even trying. Most people spend their lives believing that being nice is the secret to being liked. They hold doors open, laugh at jokes they don't find funny, and bend over backwards just to win approval. But here's the reality. That doesn't build genuine connection. It builds dependency and fake respect. People don't like you more for being agreeable. They like you when you trigger something deeper, something they can't explain but can't ignore. Think about it. The most magnetic people you know aren't always the kindest, the most generous, or the most polite. They're the ones who make you feel. They spark curiosity, they project confidence, and they carry themselves in a way that silently demands attention. That's not an accident. It's psychology. What we're going to explore in this video are the hidden dynamics that truly make people drawn to you. We'll look at why confidence is more powerful than charm, why mystery makes people chase you harder than attention ever could, and why people trust those who reveal just enough vulnerability, but never too much. If you've ever wondered why some people walk into a room and instantly become the center of gravity, while others fade into the background no matter how hard they try, the answers are here. And by the end of this breakdown, you'll know exactly how to flip the switch in your own life. 1. The psychology of first impressions. First impressions are key. They form in less than 7 seconds, and once they're locked in, people rarely change them. That means before you even open your mouth, people are already deciding whether you're confident, trustworthy, attractive, or forgettable. Psychology has a name for this: thin slicing. It's the brain's shortcut for survival, making snap judgments about people to save energy. And here's the twist. It doesn't judge you based on who you really are. It judges you on the signals you project. That's why the quiet guy in the corner is ignored, while the one who carries himself with calm confidence is instantly respected. It's why someone who speaks slowly and deliberately is taken more seriously than someone who rushes their words. It's not about status, money, or looks. It's about presence. One of the most powerful triggers in a first impression is nonverbal dominance. Standing tall, holding steady eye contact, speaking with pauses instead of rushing, these are signals the human brain reads as strength. And strength, whether we admit it or not, is universally attractive. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people sabotage themselves without knowing it. Nervous fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, over-explaining, or smiling too much. They all signal weakness. And once people file you under weak, it's almost impossible to climb out of that box. The key isn't to perform or fake it. It's to control your presence, calm movements, measured tone, and just enough stillness to make others lean in. When you do this, people don't just notice you. They respect you before you've even said a word. And in the world of human psychology, respect is the foundation of being liked. Without it, nothing else you do will matter. 2. Why confidence beats niceness every time. Here's the harsh truth. Nobody is truly attracted to nice. At best, it makes you safe, predictable, and easy to ignore. People may appreciate it, but they don't crave it. What actually pulls people in is confidence, because confidence signals strength, self-trust, and the ability to lead. Think about it. When someone is overly nice, always agreeing, always available, always putting others first, what they're really signaling is neediness. They're silently saying, "Please like me." And the moment people sense that, respect evaporates. Confidence, on the other hand, flips the script. It doesn't beg. It doesn't seek approval. It communicates, I know my value, and I don't need to prove it to anyone. And that energy is magnetic. Imagine two co-workers. One is always offering to help, always saying yes, always trying to please everyone. The other does their job well, speaks up in meetings, and when they don't agree with something, they calmly explain why. Who do you think people respect more? Who do you think gets listened to? It's the second one, because confidence commands attention while niceness fades into the background. And it's not about arrogance. True confidence is quiet. It's walking into a room without rushing to be liked, without over-explaining yourself, without needing to be the loudest voice. It's the calm assurance that you're enough. Here's the irony. When you stop trying so hard to be liked, that's when people actually start liking you, because they sense you don't need them, and that makes them want your approval even more. Niceness is forgettable. Confidence is unforgettable. And when it comes to human psychology, being unforgettable is the only way to truly be liked. 3. The power of mystery and curiosity. Human psychology is wired to chase what it doesn't fully understand. When something is obvious, predictable, and available at all times, we take it for granted. But when something, or someone, remains just out of reach, curiosity takes over. And curiosity is one of the strongest forces of attraction. Think about it. The reason cliffhangers keep us glued to shows isn't because we enjoy waiting. It's because not knowing drives us insane. Our brains crave resolution. The same rule applies to people. If you reveal everything about yourself up front, if you overshare, over-explain, and put your entire life on display, you leave nothing for people to discover. No chase, no tension, no magnetism. Mystery doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means being intentional. Share pieces of yourself, but not the whole picture. Let people earn access, because when they have to work to figure you out, their investment grows. Imagine two people on a first date. The first person talks non-stop, telling every detail about their childhood, their ex, their goals, even their weekend plans. By the end of the night, there's nothing left to wonder about. The second person shares enough to connect, but holds back just enough to leave questions unanswered. Who do you think the other person goes home thinking about? The one they still don't fully understand. Mystery creates mental presence. You occupy people's thoughts, even when you're not there. And that's where real influence begins. If confidence earns respect, mystery keeps attention. It makes people chase, wonder, and lean in closer. And the moment you master this balance, you stop being just liked. You become unforgettable. 4. The art of vulnerability. Strength without softness feels intimidating. Mystery without warmth feels cold. That's why one of the most overlooked keys to being genuinely liked is vulnerability, but only in the right dose. Vulnerability doesn't mean exposing every fear, confessing every weakness, or turning your struggles into a performance. That's oversharing, and it drains respect rather than building it. Real vulnerability is subtle. It's the ability to show you're human without collapsing into neediness. Why does this matter? Because people don't connect with perfection. They connect with authenticity. Someone who never admits mistakes, who always pretends to have everything figured out, may seem impressive at first, but they eventually come across as untouchable. And untouchable people don't inspire closeness. They create distance. On the other hand, when you share just enough, when you admit that something challenged you, or that you didn't always have it figured out, you give others permission to relate. You remind them that beneath the confidence and presence, you're still real. And real is magnetic. Here's something you've probably noticed. The people you trust the most aren't the ones who acted flawless around you. They're the ones who let you see a crack in the armor, but never let the whole thing collapse. That balance makes them both strong and approachable. The danger is tipping too far in either direction. Too much vulnerability looks like weakness. Too little looks like arrogance. The power lies in mastering the middle ground, where your strength is undeniable, but your humanity still shows through. And when people see that combination, they don't just like you, they feel connected to you. And connection is what makes influence last. 5. Why people remember how you make them feel. Here's the truth about human memory. People don't cling to every word you say, and they won't remember every detail about you. What sticks is the emotional imprint you leave behind. That's why you can forget conversations, but never forget the way someone made you feel during them. Psychologists call this the emotional residue. It's the silent weight you leave on people when you're not around. And that residue determines whether someone wants to see you again, trust you, or avoid you altogether. Think about the people in your life right now. The ones you're drawn to aren't necessarily the smartest, the most attractive, or the most successful. You're drawn to them because being around them shifts how you feel, maybe calmer, maybe inspired, maybe energized. On the flip side, you've probably stepped away from people who drained you, even if they never did anything wrong. That's the power of emotional impact. And here's the catch. You don't need to be perfect to leave a powerful imprint. You don't need to have the best stories, the loudest laugh, or the sharpest wit. What matters is the ability to tune into the energy you project. People gravitate toward those who lift, not those who drain. This is why some walk into a room and instantly draw attention, not because of what they say, but because of the feeling they radiate. That presence lingers long after the moment passes. At the end of the day, it isn't your words, your actions, or even your appearance that makes you unforgettable. It's the emotional atmosphere you carry. That's the invisible fingerprint that makes people not just like you, but remember you. 6. The law of scarcity in human attention. Human beings are wired to value what's scarce and overlook what's always available. It's a basic law of psychology. Scarcity creates desire. And nowhere is this more obvious than in how people treat your attention. When you're constantly available, always responding instantly, always saying yes to every invite, your presence loses weight. People stop valuing it because it feels cheap. But when your time and energy are limited, when being around you feels earned rather than guaranteed, people lean in. They notice more, they respect more. Think about it. Imagine two friends. One is always there, answering calls at midnight, dropping everything to hang out, never saying no. The other is supportive too, but selective. They show up when it matters, but they also have their own life, their own boundaries, their own direction. Who gets respected more? Who gets taken seriously? Always the second one. That's scarcity at work. The uncomfortable truth is that people often don't appreciate abundance. When something or someone is too easy to access, it fades into the background. But when access feels rare, it creates anticipation. It makes others want more. This doesn't mean playing games or withholding affection. It means valuing yourself enough not to spread your attention thin. It means showing people that your time carries weight. Because the less you give it away carelessly, the more powerful it becomes when you do. In the end, being liked isn't about chasing approval. It's about creating presence that feels valuable. And nothing raises your value more than scarcity. The moment people realize your attention isn't endless, they stop taking it for granted, and that's when they start chasing it. Being liked has very little to do with kindness, generosity, or trying to please everyone. Those things might make you tolerated, but they don't make you magnetic. What truly makes people drawn to you is psychology, confidence, mystery, scarcity, presence. And if you master these, you'll notice something shocking. The same people who once overlooked you will suddenly fight for your attention. Now, here's the controversial part. Trying to be liked is the fastest way to make people ignore you. Because the moment you chase approval, you've already lost it. The people who are most liked are rarely the ones begging for affection. They're the ones who could walk away at any time. And that independence is exactly what makes others want them even more. So, think about your own life. Which patterns are you stuck in? Are you giving too much, revealing too much, chasing too much? Drop a comment and tell me where you've seen this psychology play out. I'll be reading and responding because these aren't just theories, they're patterns you've lived. And remember, this was just the beginning. Because in the next video, we're diving into something even darker. The hidden tactics people use to control you without you ever realizing it. The real question is, are you ready to spot them?